Thank you for tuning into IFES on elections. I'm Laura Osio. On March 20th, Haiti held the second round of presidential elections. The two candidates on the ballot were Mirland Manigat and Michel Martelly, after charges of vote rigging resulted in a review that disqualified Jude Celestin, the government-backed candidate who had placed second after Manigat. Sophie Lagueny, IFES chief of party in Haiti, talks to us about the runoff and the improvements that were seen between the first and second rounds of this election. Sophie, how did the second round of the election go?
Well, I think they went a lot better than expected, and certainly a lot better than the first round. Certainly the international and national observers and even the political parties agree to say that. There were localized incidents of violence, unfortunately, and 2 people died. And there were technical problems with polling centers in the West Department not getting incomplete kits. It seems there was a bit of a boo-boo when they distributed the kits, and they received kits from 2009. But that was very quickly taken care of. Like at 10 o'clock, all the polling centers had received new kits, except for the 2 that are very, very far away, such as in the mountains up there, and the one on one of the islands. So where they sent a helicopter, so that took a little bit longer, but otherwise that was taken care of. The observers reported that in the polling stations, it seems that the polling staff was much better organized, and that so better trained, knew what they were doing. That there was a sense of they knew what they were doing, and the fact that they had the T-shirts that identified them made it easier. There were a lot of people around. There were what we call orienteurs, who are people that are at the polling center to help the voters find their polling station or find their name on the list, and that helped also. And so there was a lot of improvements, and it went as well as can be expected.
What was the voter turnout, and how successful was the Where to Vote campaign?
The turnout, we don't know yet. We don't have a. It's certainly higher than the first round, lower than previous presidential elections probably, but we don't know yet. We're not exactly sure. Everybody says it is higher than the first round, but I think it's still going to be pretty low for a presidential election. But and the Where to Vote campaign was very successful. I mean, there was more than 1 million SMS that were sent, and something like 300,000 calls were made to the call center. So that proves that it was really successful and people were interested. And I mean, funnily enough, I think there were more people who actually called to find out where the polling center was than people who voted. So that might be an indication of the people who wanted to vote or were interested, but maybe at the last minute, or they decided not to go vote for various reasons. Since the first round went so badly, maybe they just got scared and decided that it was better to stay home, and without a fever coming back, and the overall situation that, obviously that is not easy. Maybe, from what I understand, the turnout was mostly men, young, and so I think the women maybe decided to stay home because of the situation and the risk of violence, which is unfortunate, but it was successful. I mean, 1.3 or 1.4 million people calling or sending SMSs. It's awesome.
How is the mood on the ground now? The final results won't be announced until mid-April, but do Haitians feel they are closer to having a government that reflects their will?
Well, that's a good question. The mood is tensed, I will say. The problem is, as usual here, there are a lot of rumors, and each side saying they won, and large margins, small margins. I mean, there's a lot of speculations, a lot of rumors, and that always creates tension, because if of course the rumor doesn't come through or the speculation doesn't come through, then they start crying and saying that it was because of fraud, and of course it doesn't help. What will help for the second round is that you're not going to have local organizations coming out with results of quick counts or whatever they did during polling day and saying, okay, these are the results. That created a lot of problems during the first round, and that is not going to happen this time. So that's much better. So we're all waiting and hoping that everything is going to go okay. It is tense. It's not as bad as before the results for the first round, but everybody is a bit worried that if what people think is going to happen or what people think the result is doesn't come through, then we're going to have what we had after the first round, which means, demonstrations and violence and things. But it certainly doesn't feel as tense as right after the first round.
Thank you, Sophie.